The aerobic system requires oxygen to function, which is generated into adenosine triphosphate, more commonly known as ATP, in order to generate energy. This is done in three processes: aerobic glycolysis, the Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain. For an athlete that specialises in aerobic activity, such as Cadel Evans, winner of the 2000 Tour de France, this process is vital in order to produce the energy needed. The aerobic glycolysis is the condition in which glucose is converted to lactate in the presence of oxygen. The Krebs cycle, or citric acid cycle, is a series of chemical reactions used by aerobic organisms to release stored energy derived from carbohydrates, fats, and proteins into ATP and carbon dioxide. The electron transport chain produces 34 molecules of ATP for every molecule of glucose that is used and undergoes a number of processes in making the final steps of producing energy. The aerobic energy system is fueled by a variety of sources such as carbohydrates, fats, and protein as its source of fuel, though protein is used sparingly. It is the presence of oxygen which allows this energy to use these various fuel sources. Glycogen is the main fuel source the aerobic system obtains its energy from. Foods that contain high levels of glycogen include white bread, candy made from dextrose, or maltodextrin supplements can replenish glycogen stores. For a marathon runner such as Haile Gebrselassie, 2 to 3 days before his event, he would participate in carbohydrate loading, which is a strategy that involves changing training and nutrition that will maximize muscle glycogen/carbohydrate stores prior to a marathon. The aerobic energy system is very efficient in producing ATP as it produces 38 ATP molecules per glucose. However, the rate of production is medium and cannot cope with the higher intensity levels. Therefore, it cannot fuel intense exercise that demands the fast production of ATP, such as a 100-meter sprint or a 50-meter swim. The aerobic energy system can produce ATP continuously for well over an hour. However, your muscle glycogen will deplete after an hour or so of exercise. This will result in an increased need for oxygen intake as fats become the main fuel source and use more oxygen per ATP produced than carbohydrates. Causing fatigue or a reduction in intensity will occur when carbohydrate stores are depleted. This is often called hitting the wall. If it is possible for an athlete to transport oxygen at a faster rate than they are when their carbs run out, then their body will adjust and bring the extra oxygen to the muscle. This will mean an increase in respiration and possibly an increase in heart rate and cardiac output, but it will allow the athlete to continue to perform. An athlete such as a soccer player that is playing an intense game can achieve this and use it to maintain a medium level of intensity for the remainder of the match. In the production of ATP, the aerobic system produces water and carbon dioxide as byproducts. Water can build up in the muscles and cause stiffness and a feeling similar to swelling if exercise is continued at a high intensity for a long period of time. However, it is generally transferred out of the muscle and into the blood as water is lost through sweat while exercising. The carbon dioxide is taken out of the muscle and pushed out through the lungs into the atmosphere. If not removed, carbon dioxide can cause fatigue. For the aerobic system to recover, it is about restoring fuel stores to their pre-exercise levels. This requires ingestion, digestion, and the transportation of fuel sources, and can take 12 to 48 hours to recover depending on the intensity and duration of the aerobic performance.